My dear students, today the topic of discussion is on Introduction and Basic Concept of Engineering Mechanics, that is Module 1, Part 1, ESME 301, that is second year, third semester. Now, what is mechanics? The subject engineering mechanics is that branch of applied science which deals the behavior of the body at rest or in motion under the action of forces. Now, these mechanics can broadly be divided into three categories. One is rigid body mechanics, another one is mechanics of deformable bodies, and fluid mechanics. Now, our attention is on the rigid body mechanics. So, in this subject, we will discuss only the rigid body mechanics. Now, the rigid body mechanics can also be divided into statics and dynamics. Now, these dynamics can also be divided into kinetics and kinematics. Now, what is statics? It is the branch of engineering mechanics which deals with the forces and the effects while acting upon the bodies at rest. Now, dynamics. What is dynamics? It is the branch of engineering mechanics which deals with the forces and the effects while acting upon the bodies in motion. Now, these dynamics can also be divided into kinetics and kinematics. Now, what is kinetics? It is the branch of dynamics which deals with the bodies in motion due to the application of forces. That means force is directly involved of this motion. Now, kinematics. It is the branch of dynamics which deals with the bodies in motion without any reference to the forces which are responsible for the motion. That means force is not directly responsible for the motion. Now, what is particle? A particle has a mass but the size that can be neglected. That means the particle having negligible mass. Now, what is rigid body? A rigid body may be defined as a body in which the relative position of any two particles do not change under the action of forces. That means relative position inside the body is always fixed, not changed. That means the shape and size of the body remains unchanged. Now, what is force? It is an external agent which changes or tends to changes the state of rest or motion of the body. So, the force is also a vector quantity. Now, how would you specify a force? The force may be specified as per its magnitude, direction, and point of application. Now, in this diagram, if you see that a sphere is resting on a horizontal plane. The weight of the sphere is W and it is acting vertically downward. And that means the direction is vertically downward. Now, the point of application, so the sphere and the plane, it is the touching point is A, so the point of application is A. So, a force may be specified in its magnitude, direction, and point of application. Now, the types of forces. So, this force may be specified, force may be classified into number 1, coplanar forces, collinear forces, concurrent forces, coplanar, collinear forces, coplanar, concurrent forces, non-coplanar concurrent forces, and non-coplanar non-concurrent forces. Now, what is coplanar forces? Coplanar forces, the forces which are lying, the line of action of all the forces lying on the same plane, that is called coplanar forces. Now, what is collinear forces? The line of action of all the forces lying in the same line. And concurrent forces, similarly, the line of action of all the forces passing through a common point. Now, coplanar collinear forces, that is the line of action of all the forces lying in the same plane and as well as passing through a common line. Similarly, coplanar concurrent forces, the line of action of all the forces lying in the same plane and as well as passing through a common point. Non-coplanar concurrent forces, the line of action of all the forces not lying in the same plane but passing through a common point. And non-coplanar, non-concurrent forces, the line of action of all the forces not lying in the same plane and as well as not passing through a common point. So in the next class we will discuss the two-dimensional and the three-dimensional force system. Okay, thank you.